What's going on, Summer?
Hey, how are you doing, Mr. Massey?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing excellent.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you for asking.
No problem. Hey, I'm glad to have you to kind of jump in real quick and just kind of share some of your vast experience in real estate and some of the stuff that's going on right now. Happening with the whole COVID thing and how basically you maneuvered around some of these situations. So if you don't mind, just kind of tell me a little bit about, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you've been doing, how you got into real estate, and just kind of go from there.
Oh, that's a lot to segue into COVID. Uh, but I have been in real estate for over 20 years. I have been a licensed real estate agent for the past 13 years. I have managed every type of asset there has. I usually say if the sun shines on it, I've managed it. I right currently I'm an REO broker, so I mainly deal with distressed assets, foreclosures, and I auction them off online. So I'm an auctioneer broker. So I auction foreclosed properties on a site called
Hmm?
hubzoo.com, and I am a licensed broker in about 14 states.
Wow, that's a lot of states.
Yeah.
So, so what are I mean, what are some of the things that you've seen challenging or that you all had to make a change within your company to actually deal with what's going on right now with everybody, a lot of places being shut down or limited. Like what are some of the things that you all are doing differently that you wasn't doing before?
As far as differently, I would say really not too much because you got to keep in mind when you're doing foreclosures, um, there's not very much relationship that you have to harvest
Mm,
with buyers and investors. There's just not much relationship harvesting um, because it's all about the bottom line and it's all about the number.
mm,
Now, one thing that I've had to do differently on a more of a personal level is I had a lot of contracts in New York. I'm the main broker in New York City, and New York got hit very hard, and so did Michigan. And so I had to go back to my old corporate ways, and I had to begin to nurture relationships where I've never had to do that before. I had to call. I had about 97, 98 properties under contract. I had to call each buyer and basically work out an extension and actually calm their nerves because there was a lot of fear that was around real estate, afraid to buy, everyone's afraid of the crash that
yeah.
happened so many years ago. It's like we are still fresh in our memory, and anything that looks similar to that, our natural instinct is to bail. So I had became a little bit of a advisor, financial advisor, explaining to them, these are the parameters that are in place. It's not going to happen. It's not the crash, and I had to work that out with all of those contracts, almost 100 pending contracts in order for them not to fall through because I did not want them to fall through. Now that's something that I had to personally um, do different in order to keep my closing ratio to a high level that was pleasing to my employer.
Yeah. So you're kind of like on the front lines with this whole setting things up and foreclosure and things of that nature. Um, like a lot of people are kind of scared about what they're seeing. Where do you see everything kind of going?
It's so interesting that you say that. I think the market's going to be fine. I haven't seen anything to indicate that the market's gonna go, crashing down. But one thing that is very interesting is I study a lot of what the millennials their buying patterns, and millennials don't really buy properties. And if they do buy properties, they like to buy condos, lofts. They're very focused on the being energy efficient. They want all those bells and whistles. And I think what's going to happen because those same millennials have been cooped up in a 2-bedroom condo,
Exactly.
that they're going to say there is something to having a hold on. We're going to see millennials buying bigger properties in the suburbs. Now, that's something that they have, the research hasn't been out yet, but I've been studying the way millennials purchase for quite some time now. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Everyone's going to want bigger.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've talked to a few different people, and it's one of those things. You cooped up, like the market kind of slowed down. You cooped up, and if you're in a situation where you're looking at that, like you said, the two bedroom, and it's like, man, it's not enough space.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's a three bedroom. You're thinking the same thing. Maybe the person that you're in with, and you're just like, I need a basement. Like, I know for me, my basement has been a lifesaver with three kids
Okay.
and the wife. So to be able to get down
And
to another
see,
layer,
not only just that, you're going to have people who rent apartments. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So tell me, all right. So you pretty much
Hello?
saying, yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
So so you're on the front line. You're seeing foreclosures. Have you seen an uptick in foreclosures, or are you pretty much seeing things
it's
pretty
getting
much stabilized?
it's getting a little fuzzy.
What about now?
The audio is distorted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Now I can. It's just a
You
little
can?
distorted.
Okay. All right, cool. Now,
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, do you see, like, with you looking at foreclosures within the last couple of months that things been going on, are you seeing things kind of stabilizing, being the same, or are you actually seeing more out there? And which states are probably getting hit the worst?
Well, foreclosures have definitely slowed because nobody is going to foreclose on a family
Yeah,
during the pandemic.
yeah,
So I've always given the advice to agents is try to split up your portfolio where you're making money when the economy is bad and you're making money when the economy is good. Just everyone's like doing like one sector of real estate, and it's so dependent on when something happens. Uh, I would say Minnesota and Michigan and New York in my portfolios got hit the hardest, and the foreclosures have been zero.
mm,
They've been zero. Um, which when the economy gets good, I get a little mad. My whole industry, I'm like, I make money when everything's crappy for everybody else.
yeah. So you like the opposite, the anti, good economy agent. So so
Oh, that crash was nice. That crash was nice for me.
yeah,
I was like, oh, I bought a couple houses. The crash was nice to me.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's not nothing to laugh at.
Nah,
But
nah,
it's
yeah.
nice to diversify yourself.
But I mean, but it's something to that though. I mean, with any market, if you know how to maneuver, or where to get buyers and sellers, you're able to thrive. I mean, I know when things were bad, some agents they went right into the foreclosure market and created relationships there, and they had more listings than ever. And the
Mm-hmm.
HUD was huge back then. And then they were paying like tremendous commissions to agents for selling HUD homes. So,
Yeah.
then when
Yeah.
the economy got better, you had to maneuver again. So it's something to be said about knowing, where the buyers and sellers or where the business is going to come from, and being able to position yourself to that point in order to take advantage of it. So,
And
so
some of the good ways to do that is you don't want to wait until you're in need of the relationship. That's why in the
yeah.
beginning of this call I was talking about harvesting the relationships.
Mm,
There are asset managers with banks that you could contact. They're going to need people to do boots on the ground. I'm stationed here in Georgia, but I'm licensed in all other states. I need other agents to do what's your price on opinion when you're looking at the house? Can you drive by? And we're paying all these people to do these things. Can you drive by the house and assess, do weekly assessment to see if anyone's moved out or if you think it's vacant, or do a BPO? Like, they need other people. And the list is, quite, believe it or not, is quite short. The amount of agents who have kept themselves in communication and rotation for those type of things. Now, you may only get about $400 or $500 a month from doing that, but when I can't sell a property because in a rural area, or I don't want to be bothered with it, or it's got too many nuances, I can say, hey, Trey, you're located in, this city. You can have this listing. I'm gonna give you this much commission. That's yours. Now you in the REO business listing properties. So
Yeah.
it's like you have to continuously build and do those. That's why I keep using the word harvest, because we have to literally look at relationship. You have to continuously harvest them, water them, feed them, prune them, do all those different things.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to relationship at the end of the day, though. I mean, this business is built upon relationship, people that you come in contact with, and being able to, get to know, like, and trust. So, I mean, I think that's kind of what you're saying. Do you think, like, a lot of people, they just don't know different avenues in order to get connected to, like, somebody like yourself that need agents to do different things?
Yes, I do think we.
Lost you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, well, I guess it will come, the video will come back on, but that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't know how to network. And I tell people all the time.
We just went dark on it.
You can't hear me either?
I can hear you now. You went out
Okay.
for a moment.
I don't know what happened to the video. Okay. What I was saying is, when it comes to networking, a lot of people don't understand that it's a long term, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so you just can't meet someone and think that in a month they're going to give you a bunch of business. It's basically like, I don't know you. You
Yeah,
know, I haven't dealt with you. I haven't seen you at the luncheons. I haven't seen you at the trade shows. You haven't emailed me any updates. We're not even LinkedIn partners. You don't comment on my things. I don't know you. I can't put you ahead of somebody that I've been dealing with for 4 years. So they have we understand that it's a long-term goal that you have. I mean, I've been in this business 20 years and I still interact and talk to the people that I met on my first job 20 years ago. And it it's it never, every milestone that I've happened in my career has come from somebody that I knew and we had a relationship with. And if it wasn't them, it was someone else they had a relationship with that
yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean,
they. You still can't hear me?
now you're just going in and out. I mean, I think
Okay.
probably just the signal where you are. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying and what you were kind of going over with everybody. I mean, is big. Being able to get relationships and being able to maneuver in certain markets. Like Summer was saying, for her, when the market's down, and that's when she's the most busiest. And with the agent, the market's always changing. I always tell, if I'm talking to a buyer, I'm talking to a seller. I mean, it's kind of like, if you're looking at the stock market, I mean, it's always moving up and down. It's doing this the whole time. So it's the same thing with real estate. So your job, if you're a seller, is to position your house at the top of the market, if you want to sell for the most amount of money. And based upon the timing when you put on the market, and based upon other factors, it's going to determine if you're going to get that price. And then if you wait, like you would have wanted to be the seller in probably 2006. That's where you
Mhm.
want to be. I wanted to sell my house in 2006, but if I
Mhm.
waited to 2007, 2008, then that market went down.
Right.
But if you waited till probably about a year ago, 2 years ago, the market was way back up again. So
Right.
it's always moving like this. And then us as real estate agents, we just need to know where to plug in, to people that are needing to do business at that particular time based upon the market situation. So yeah, so man, so glad, Summer, that you was able to kind of jump in. I think you had a totally different perspective on things, especially from your background, having um, a broker's license in so many different states and dealing with a whole lot of different foreclosures. So, I definitely appreciate it. If anybody wants to,
No problem.
if anybody wants to, get more information about our group, it's a private Facebook group called Agent Builders, where we're always talking about things that's going to help each other. We're always positioning ourselves in order to, not only be good business people, but also be able to add value for our clients that we're doing business with. So I
Mhm.
appreciate it, and until the next time, Summer. Hopefully that connection gets better, right?
Yeah. I hope so. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, absolutely.